everybody, how's it going? I'm Zero.
I'm DK.
And I'm Rizzo, and today on Anime Reaction, we watched the 9th episode of Youjo Senki. If you want to check out our reaction to the 9th episode of Youjo Senki, hit that link in the description below.
And be sure to give us feedback in the comment section because we love hearing from you.
And as always, if you like what you see, subscribe to Otaku Saga, and don't forget to like and share our videos.
And thanks for watching. So, once again, we're doing this chat live on our Discord. And
say hi, Chad.
Hopefully this time it works.
Hopefully this time the recording of the actual chat works so I can put it in the video.
Hi, Chart.
Hi, Chart.
You'll never live that down, Fanta.
Yeah. So in this episode...
Well, potato. We'll get to that later, Onyx.
But yeah,
And Jay.
this episode was basically the...
It's kind of the setup to the climax of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Imperial Army is calling for a tactical retreat of the Rhine front.
Okay, yeah, so... Well, first we see kind of a... more or less of a slowdown after what happened last episode.
Right.
And we see Tanya on a train going back to HQ. And she meets up with, I assume, a guy that she was in training with. I don't really remember him.
Yeah, he was the guy from that
Uger.
little scene in the diner while she was at the military academy, I think.
Was that him?
Was that him? I didn't think so.
But it was
But
Uger.
Uger, yes.
Uger.
Thank you, Salazar. And basically he reveals, because he's in the I forget what it's called,
Like the railway division. He's
yeah,
a
it's
logistics
like the
officer.
logistics
Yeah.
supply, I guess,
Or quartermaster corps.
quartermaster corps. But he reveals that there's a plan to make a tactical retreat to draw in the not French forces to destroy them and put an end to the war. Which I mentioned during the episode, it actually does remind me of a real tactic used by Germany during World War One, sort of, which is the creation and retreat to the Hindenburg Line. And in real World War One, Germany realized that the war wasn't going so well for them. So on the Western Front, they created a much better defensible position, which the Allies named the Hindenburg Line. And they basically it was lines that were created out of like reinforced concrete that they could actually bring in their engineers to
not
create.
Just like hastily dug trenches and all that.
Yeah, there was like anti-tank pits, and like they actually coordinated where all the machine guns would be so that they could mow people down and whatnot. Like it was a very well defensible line, so they spent months creating that. And then they retreated most of their army back behind that and tried to make it seem as though the
Allies kind of broke through.
Made it seem as though the Entente broke through their lines and they were in hasty retreat right up until the Entente forces got to the Hindenburg Line and got mowed down. That was the idea.
Yeah, that was the idea. But yeah, that's what we basically learn is going on, going forward. It's one of the plans that's going on. We also find out that the doctor...
Oh, God.
Oh, Lord.
Built the V1 rockets.
Yeah, so we kind of take a technological leap.
Yeah, so
going forward here.
I can... Like, obviously this is based in an alternate history. Technology is much more advanced than it actually was during the Great War.
Yeah, but having V1 rockets, again, is a major
having
leap
technology
for the
from the 20s, I feel is fine for this because it does take place in the 20s. I think it's a little bit of a leap just because of how technology progressed during the Great War and how that affected things. I feel a little bit more thought probably should have been put into it, but I can see technology from like the late 20s, early 30s showing up here because of magic.
That is true, Fanta. This could be perpetrated from being X through the Doctor.
Yeah,
Bob made the same point as well.
Yeah, this was probably the only technology so far that I'm like, I have a hard time believing that. However, I mean, he is a mad scientist, so and being X is talking.
It was just really funny seeing that reaction. You made a V1. You really made a V1. What are you planning on doing with this? Oh, we're gonna strap you mages onto it and launch it into
Enemy HQ.
Enemy HQ.
Shock and awe. Actually, that's what they call the operation here. And not only do you get rocketry, but you also get basically kamikaze tactics.
It reminded me of a mix between the V1 and the Japanese Oka.
Yeah, or what my grandpa used to call them, the Baka Bomb.
Yeah, Baka Bomb.
Just fly straight.
Basically, the Oka was a rocket with a pilot that had a giant bomb in the front so that they could kamikaze.
Maybe we need a new tactic. Well, there you go.
Something completely unexpected.
Well, here you are.
Something completely unexpected. Ding dong, motherfucker!
Like Romeo in the second Boondock Saints movie.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
bust on in there.
Yeah, that was pretty much that.
Yeah. I actually love the interactions between Tanya and the Doctor. Just the pure cringe on Tanya's face during their entire conversation.
Yeah.
It's priceless.
Going back a little bit, though. So they have Tanya's unit support the retreat. And they basically almost get wiped out.
Yeah, they get
as far as I can tell, they were talking about, 70% casualties in some of the companies.
Yeah. I think that all in all, Tanya's company in general, Tanya's crew, all together, probably lost 75% of their...
Because again, they had to be the tip of the spear. They had to support the retreat. They had to sell the con to the enemy.
Yeah, at this point, they were the spiky shield of... They were the point on the spiky shield.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it.
Pretty much. When you have a false retreat like that, it's never good for the troops that get...
stuck in front.
That get stuck in the back of the retreat.
Mm-hmm. The rear guard.
Yeah, it's never good for the rear guard. But yeah, so going back forward to the Doctor with the V1.
To be fair, Tanya's always wanted to be part of the rear guard.
Sure.
Well, she got her wish.
But that's her role, though. She's being X's plaything.
Yeah.
She's always going to get the shaft in one way or another.
Yeah.
But yeah, so going back to the Doctor and the V1, that whole conversation was just priceless.
And just the flat-faced look on Tanya, the entire time. Just, really?
So tell me these can turn, right? You don't need to turn, just fly straight. Also, I like the all the extra engines that it had.
Yeah, and
compared to the actual V1.
And they're all fueled by hydrogen. Oh, yeah, that's stable.
There's worse fuels. You could have picked something that's toxic.
Totally.
True.
Like hydrazine or something.
Okay, I'll give you that.
It showed it, and the only thing I can think is, man, that guy's been playing way too much Kerbal Space Program. When in doubt, just strap on more rockets.
Don't need more. Don't need more wings. Don't need any.
He graduated from the Jacksepticeye School of Aeronautical Engineering.
Right.
Or what was that guy?
So, Fantasilian just posted in chat that he noticed that the helmets were different. I really wasn't paying attention to them, but...
And that's the sum of the Anton's technical advances in the war.
Well, I mean, it's not entirely inaccurate. Because the forces in World War One didn't really use steel helmets at the beginning of the war, and then they were introduced during the war. So
Yeah, because of the trench warfare.
I do believe that one of the helmet designs did look really similar to what is put on the screen now with the not French forces, and I think it might have been for the French.
Potatoes. We'll get
We'll get to that.
We'll get there.
Aye. Calm your memories, chat.
Right. But yeah, basically, there was a lot of head wounds, and so they introduced steel helmets. And instead of there being a lot of deaths because of head wounds, now there was a lot of injuries
because of head wounds.
Because of head wounds. It still wasn't good. I mean, it's
this
still
is
like,
actually interesting because in actual history, they actually took the helmets off. They actually had a complaint that there were too many injuries associated with the helmets, so they actually forced people to take the helmets off. And so they ended up killing a lot more people at the very end of the war, and then they put the helmets back on, realizing that, oh yeah, it's just because they were getting injured, not... It was really...
Hey, Fantasilian, welcome to World War One.
Welcome to World War One. It was a very, very crappy war.
Yeah, basically, World War One summed up. Hi, I'm Europe, and welcome to Jackass.
Pretty much. Speaking of.
Yeah. So then we get the So we see the scene where Tanya gets to break the bad news to, what was it, 10 or 11 of...
Basically her inner circle.
Yeah. So we get that first lieutenant that we always see, the second lieutenant who's shown up in the past couple episodes.
Victoria.
Victoria's there, and then basically the elite people in her elite battalion. And she breaks the news to them, and naturally they're a little distraught about it.
Well, yeah, their mission's going to possibly end the war.
Yeah, and we
Actually,
see a scene.
We see
a scene where that second lieutenant's talking to the first lieutenant, and they're kind of nervous about it. And we get a little funny moment of levity with Victoria because they're like, "Who could be calm after an announcement like that?"
And then
they turn around and she's snoring on the table.
Victoria in this episode, by the way.
Oh my god.
Going back just a little bit further in the hospital bed, or in the hospital tent.
Yeah, the infirmary tent.
Where she's talking with that lieutenant.
That second lieutenant, Jabroni.
Yeah. And basically puts out there that, way back in law school, they all learned.
Basically, she explains to him, what was going on in the previous episode and why Tanya was acting the way that she did, and how basically everything that they did in that battle is on Tanya, not on them.
Yeah.
So
and it was Tanya following orders. So
so they can clear their conscience knowing
exactly.
that they had to do it.
Yeah,
they're
did their
just
job.
soldiers following
Yeah,
orders.
their hands are clean of it all, really.
And I still want to say we get that scene where they're like laughing together, and I just feel that that's not an appropriate
time and
location.
place.
They're sitting there laughing together while a warrant officer, Jabroni, is screaming his head off because of...
We'll get to it.
Yeah.
I mean,
But it's just the scene where it like shows them in the background laughing to each other, and then in the foreground we see a guy laying on the bed being attended to by a doctor. Yeah, it's weird. Like it's I'm just sitting there going, man, you guys have horrible hospital etiquette.
I think it was meant to show how
Oh no, it
fucked
was
up both of
intentional.
them are.
It was
Yeah.
intentional.
It was totally intentional.
Just how used to
and
this they are by now.
I actually like it. Like, that's,
yeah.
I mean, welcome to World War One.
Shell
Welcome to
shock
war.
is set in. War is hell.
But yeah, so getting back to the rocket thing, we see the group getting ready to launch, and they are inside these V1 rockets.
Hi, I'm Tanya, and welcome to Jackass. Yep.
Just
that
like the
face.
launching scene, the face during the launch.
I mean,
Yeah, that's exactly, exactly correct. Wonder how many G's she pulled there.
a lot. Probably.
I don't know, but
I don't know.
I don't think like 9 or 10-year-old girls are supposed to pull that many G's.
Especially with little to no training. But anyway.
Whoops.
Sorry,
That's
my
the
alarm
we need to hurry this along.
Yeah, that is the we need to hurry this along alarm. Okay, we're good. Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, so they launched back to the Not French's HQ, and yeah, that's where we leave off the main part of the episode.
Yep. Tanya and Kimmy about to drop in. End of war. Maybe.
Mustache and hipster hair's dinner,
Oh yeah, the two generals.
who are completely over.
All the
Overly
generals are
confident.
overconfident, though, because we got a scene with the Entente general there. One of his jabronis is looking at his liquor cabinet. Distribute them among the front line. Make sure to leave enough for our victory.
Oh my
Damn, son.
god. I think they perfectly captured the generals of World War One right there.
Yep. Pretty much. Completely overly confident and
Arrogant, really.
yeah.
Pompous and arrogant.
Yep. Yeah, that's so Fantasilian says Tanya's speech sounded kind of ended all speech. I hope it's not an anime original death here. I definitely agree. Like I guess the kind of thing that she was thinking about while she was flying in the V1 did kind of feel like that, where she's like she basically says, you know,
What was the quote? Until I beat free market principles into that bastard, referring to being X, I can't die.
yeah. I don't
Or,
know. They,
Such a salary, man.
You know, let's show them how good guard dogs we really are.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Seashore troops.
Yeah, I hope they're not going for an anime original.
And also,
There.
borderline spoiler-ish, I'd say. That comment. Because apparently I can infer that she doesn't die in the source material.
Well, I mean,
sor-
the source material, I think the source material is still going, right? Right, Fanta?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
All
I would
right.
assume that she doesn't die in the source
I mean,
material.
it is called
unless we have a main
The saga of Tanya the Evil.
Unless we have a main character switch, but I kind of doubt that.
The saga of Victoria the Adorable.
But yeah, this plan, the plan with the V1s, I want to talk about for a second because I mentioned it during the reaction that it's basically like pulling all your pieces and chess back and then stacking your queen like right in front of the king. I mean, it's pretty suicidal.
Or it's pretty like one way. You have to be resolute in your
Yeah.
attack. You're
Yeah.
committed.
I mean, that's basically what's going on here.
Yeah, it is. It's like castling your king and then attacking with your queen. There you go.
It's yeah.
As Hipster has said, we've crossed the Rubicon.
Yep.
No turning back now.
And then for the
And
best
then-
part
then-
of this episode.
And then-
stinger.
Here we go. Yes, it's time.
Wait,
It's
wait, wait.
time.
Wait.
Whoa.
Well, actually, to me, the best part about this episode, we get to continue hearing Los.
Indeed.
Got
Now
you
we-
there.
now
Now
we-
the best
now
part
we
of the
talk about
episode.
So we get a scene where Tanya is sitting and writing a letter to one of the to the family of one of her men, and like the whole time she's doing her little cutesy voice,
Oh god.
So
this is
that's
so
an
hilarious.
indicator that something's strange, right there.
and like, you know, like when it was showing up, I thought it was going to be kind of a somber scene because she's writing a, she's writing one of those letters where
Right.
one of her men died or whatever. But yeah, basically the gist of the letter is, I regret to inform you that
Your son's been wounded.
yeah, your son's been your son has been injured, and the doctors recommend a long-term recovery, so he's going to be forced to retire from the from the military.
Yeah,
And I took the liberty of putting him in for what is it? Basically like a Purple Heart and
a medal for being wounded in
two
combat.
medals. It was one for being wounded and one for
Like gallantry.
or whatever. And she closes out the letter, and then
And then in her normal voice.
I can't believe I lost one of my men to a rotten potato.
Potato. Mash him, put him in a stew, potato. The fuck, man? How long did that potato have to rot before it got that bad?
Yeah, how would that sneak through?
Yeah,
How would it sneak through?
that's very surprising.
Their chefs suck. Well, they are military chefs after all.
Their supply train sucks.
Yeah, to be fair, food poisoning was a bad problem, but retiring from the military over food poisoning? Holy shit.
Especially in an age of conscription.
Right?
You'd think they'd want to keep everyone on the front lines as long as possible.
Oh,
God,
I
that
would
potato
hate
was
to-
more effective than the not French.
Ouch.
I would hate to see the face on that potato. Like seriously, like the potato.
Face on the potato.
Well, I mean, when you leave a potato under your cabinet for far too long, it starts growing other shit.
Right. The sprouts and all
Gotta
that.
be a pissed off potato in order to kill somebody. Like, in order to closely kill somebody, because that's about the only way that you're.
Turn him into a kamikaze pilot.
Yeah, like the potato must have been black and turning into goop.
Yeah, and how do you not see that? Fantasillion delivers.
Nope, that's it right there.
Found the thumbnail.
Okay, discussion over.
That's it.
That's it.
Yep. Game, set, and match.
Oh, that's fucking frightening.
Oh, that's frightening.
I can't even look at it.
Potato with shark teeth. That's.
Can we end it?
Take us out, Rizzo.
All right. So let us know what you thought of the anime, what you thought of our reaction in the comment section below.
Yep, thumbs up if you like it, thumbs down if you don't.
But that's gonna do it for this episode of Anime Reaction. Fucking potatoes.
I'm Zero.
I'm Rizzo. See you next time.
And go ahead and click on my face, go to our most recent Otaku Saga Talks.
Click on my face to go to Otaku Saga Gaming, our gaming channel.
And click on the waifu to subscribe to Otaku Saga. And if you'd like to help us out, go ahead and check out our Patreon page.